I'm super excited about tonight's menu because our boys texted us last week actually and said that they have requested a Napa night. Now, they were telling us how much they missed the food and that we needed to recreate some burgers, and they wanted to come down and have dinner with us. And so that is what is on the menu for tonight, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. And so it's just going to be a family affair, and I'm so excited. So I'm really excited to share with you some recipes that we had at the restaurant, and we're recreating a few of the burgers. And we're doing minis because we're going to do several different ones. And that way everybody can have, they can have one of each or whatever. So, but we're starting with my attempt to make the bread pudding. Now, I've been on the phone all morning with my oldest son, Hunter, who knows the recipe by heart, inside and out, has probably made that dish 1,000 times. And I mean, I know the gist of it. I know basically what's in it. But he was sharing the recipe with me. And so anyway, here we go. So I'm not making quite the size that I would do if we were in the restaurant. So I had to scale it down. So here's my attempt, because you know how much I love to bake. So he's telling me measurements. I'm like, Hunter, I got it. He's like, Mom, you have to be exact. We'll see. Anyway, so I've got 4 whole eggs in my bowl, and then we're going to do 4 egg yolks, and I've already done one. And so you just want to separate the egg. People have different ways of doing it. I do it right in the shell, just like this, and works for me. And then you can make an omelet or something with your egg whites, if that's your thing. I prefer not to eat egg whites, but Daryl likes them, so. How many is that? Oh. 1 more. Down on the stove, which I can hear it, I need to stir that, I'm making raspberry, I'll put this off to the side, raspberry Melba sauce. Now, the Melba sauce is for the PB&J burger, which happens to be my favorite. And so down here, I've got 2 pounds of raspberries, lemon, and a little bit of confectionery sugar, and we're going to bring it to a boil. The reason I'm using confectionery sugar instead of granulated sugar is that it's finer, and it's not going to have the grains in it from the sugar. And then when it cools, we will put it through a mesh strainer and get all the seeds and everything out, and then let it cool at room temperature. It's going to be delicious. Kind of like making jelly, but it's a little bit more liquefied than that. So I've got all the eggs in here. We're gonna whisk them together. This is super exciting. I wish he was already down here with me, but he's not coming until later, and this needs to set and get all ready. So we're using brown sugar, light brown sugar, not dark brown sugar, he said. The dark brown sugar, too much molasses in the brown sugar, and does not work well. So light brown sugar, whisk that together. And he said, whisk it really good, Mom. So here we go. And a little bit of vanilla. Oh shoot, I knew that would happen. I'm making a mess, but that's okay. A little bit of vanilla. pure vanilla extract. Continue to whisk, and then we're going to sit this aside, and then we're going to mix our other milks together. Now, this is one thing I did not know that this recipe had in it. All those years we were making it, I honestly never knew that it had sweet condensed milk in it. So let me get this going. 1 can of sweet condensed milk. Oh my gosh, this stuff is heaven. Look how thick that is. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Get that in there. And then we're gonna add whole milk. We're not watching our waistline today, people. Friends, this is not a low-cal vegetarian menu. Okay, so that's all good and in there. Okay, so now we're gonna add whole milk. And 4 cups. With the condensed milk. And we're gonna whisk. Yeah. Now, he didn't tell me this, but I'm gonna add a pinch of salt because it's got a lot of sweetness going on, and it'll just help balance the flavors. So then we're gonna mix these two together. And essentially, we've made a custard. Stir it all together. Now, I will tell you that he told me that I needed to cook the condensed milk and the whole milk on the stove, heat it. I didn't do that, and mainly because it's already liquid, and so it just saved myself a step. We'll see. Hopefully no one will know. Okay, set the custard aside. That is finished. Now, the key ingredient to this bourbon bread pudding, which will make the bourbon sauce later, is, can't believe I'm sharing this with y'all. You know how much I love you. So there we go. Is right here. Who knew, right? Not regular bread. Sweet, I'm gonna set this right here. Sweet Hawaiian rolls. Delicious. Okay, so you know what I need is to spray my pan. I'm gonna spray it first. And we are going to make room. I don't have a whole lot of room. We're just going to cut them in cubes and put them in the pan. Open up some more. Anyway, Daryl and I were just so excited when they called us and told us they wanted us to make Napa food for them. We have friends tell us all the time how much they miss the food, and we do too. You know, I wouldn't really want to be owning a restaurant right now, that's for sure. So my heart goes out to the small businesses that own a restaurant. It's just breaks my heart. So I am thankful that we do not own a restaurant right now, and super grateful that it turned out the way it did. But when I hope you're jumping on here and making some of my recipes and getting your kids and family in the kitchen and cooking for them. But when you are not cooking at home, I hope that you go and support your local restaurants with to-go orders for your family, because being a small business owner is by far the hardest thing I have ever done. And, they're in survival mode right now, so please go and support them. Okay, so actually, I'm going to do a couple more. I want it to be, they're going to take some of this home for sure. I might as well just do it all, actually. Because I did it now, it's early in the day, it's going to sit and absorb all that custard that we made. And then we will make the bourbon sauce, which she told me how to do that. So it'll be a 2-part video. I'll do that later. This is perfect. Okay, so see what I've done? I've broken up or cut up. You can break it up if you want with your fingers. And just like that. And now we're going to pour the custard that we made on top of it, and we're going to let it sit. Let me just make sure. Where's my whisk? What do I do with it? Oh. Okay. Here it goes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Your best tools. I want every piece of this Hawaiian, I want every single one of them immersed in this beautiful, luxurious custard that we made. Okay, so that's it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to wrap it, and I'm going to sit it in the fridge and let it sit for a while, and then bring it out at room temperature, and then I'm going to bake it off. I'll post the recipe, and it's Napa night in the Lewis household, and I can't tell you, we have so many stories and so many fond memories of our guests and customers that come in, and our employees. And they will always hold a special place in our heart. And we have some fabulous recipes, and hopefully over the time I'll be sharing them with you. But anyway, this is the bread pudding, and the Melba sauce is cooking, and that's for the PB&J, which I'm so excited about. That's my favorite burger. And I think we're also doing the spinach bacon gorgonzola burger. And so anyway, have a fabulous weekend, everybody, and stay tuned, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how it all comes together, and talk more about some recipes from Napa.
Are you recording?
Okay, yeah. You just keep stirring, darling. Okay, so Hunter, look. This is what we did earlier. It turned out perfect.
Well, how do you turn the light on?
Hunter's now here, and he's helping me with the bourbon. What's it called, Hunter? The bourbon glaze.
Bourbon caramel.
Caramel bourbon. Well, it turns into caramel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We just added a little bit more bourbon, because everything tastes better with a little bit more bourbon, right? So tell me what's in here. Butter, bourbon.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar. What else?
Heavy cream.
And heavy cream. And we bring it to a boil like you're making caramel?
Mm-hmm. Like candy.
Okay. And then it's going to thicken, and that's what we're going to pour over the bread pudding. I'm so proud of myself. But I did it with your help.
You're right.
Can you smile and say hi to everybody? This is going to be great. I'll post a picture and possibly the recipe. I got to beg for it. So the magic is starting to happen. So it's supposed to come up to a rapid boil, and then what? Because we've already added.
We're gonna add heavy whipping cream.
Okay. Do you have to whisk that in, or you can just use the?
No, you don't want to use a whisk.
Okay. Oh my gosh. It smells delicious. How many times have you made this, Hunter?
A couple hundred times.
Probably more than that. Oh, I love having you here cooking with me. How do you think the bread
It is
pudding?
fun.
How
It's
do you-
gonna be good.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I filmed it earlier. I told everybody I talked to
Oh,
you
you
all
did film
morning. Mm-hmm.
It's a word of mouth recipe. That's pretty good.
So this just thickens, right?
Yeah, it's gonna take a minute, but it will.
Okay.
I might need to add more sugar.
And we're using brown sugar, light brown sugar. Oops.
Get ready to stir. You got
Oh.
your stir.
Yep. So
Careful,
this is
don't
my
splash
left
that,
hand.
'cause if that hits your skin, it's bad.
Okay.
Keep coming.
You stir, because that's my left hand. Oh my gosh. Might need the whisk.
You can use the whisk, but
This looks just like I remember.
yeah, it looks good.
Okay. You can come down every weekend and cook with me.